If you have low income and you're looking for a credit union, single member LLC, business line of credit, here is a review that you really need to pay attention to. Number 10, we have Lake Michigan. Our score is 7.8 over 10. What we love about Lake Michigan is that they have a flexible credit line for a single member LLC business line of credit. Okay, and so they take care of you. Their customer service is really great. The line of credit will go from $1,000 all the way to $50,000. They will approve you within 3 to 7 business days. The only problem that we find with Lake Michigan is that they are geo restricted. So if you are not in Michigan or you're not around that state, you will not qualify for this business line of credit with a single member LLC. Otherwise, overall, this line of credit is really fantastic. So Lake Michigan, and the cool thing is you can use the cash for a lot of things. You can use the cash for to expand your business, buy inventory, pay for unexpected expenses and whatnot. So Lake Michigan, our score 7.8 over 10. Number 9, we have NIH, so National Institutes of Health Credit Union. Our score 8.2 over 10. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're having a quick convo about a single member LLC business lines of credit from credit union, especially if you have low income. Okay, so with NIH, what we have a constellation of lines of credit. They call it working capital lines of credit. So they can actually approve you all the way to $100,000, and if you have the right relationship with the NIH, they can even go all the way to $350,000. All of this on low income. It's all about the relationship and the length, the breadth of the relationship, and the depth of the relationship. How long you have been with them, what kinds of accounts you have with them. With NIH, you have a fixed and variable rate options. You never have any prepayment penalties, okay, and no annual repayment requirements. Not a problem. So this is a great single member LLC business line of credit, low income from a credit union. If you're interested in learning more, you want to call a specialist at NIH at 301-296-2534, 201-296-2534. So for equipment loans, they have equipment loans and lines of credit. They have loan and line amounts that go from $5,000 all the way to $350,000. And they also have a regular business lending if you're interested in that sort of thing. Number 8, we have Teachers. Our score 8.4 over 10. And what we love about Teachers is that they're a single member LLC business line of credit with low income, is really flexible. They are they're very generous. Also, they'll take care of you, and so their line of credit will go from $1,000 all the way to $100,000. In some cases, they'll go all the way to $250,000. Now, the only problem that we have with Teachers is that they do charge what they call a packaging fee, which is like an admin fee on the line of credit before opening that account, especially if they approve. If they approve you for a large line amount, they'll charge you a $500 packaging fee. On term loans and lines of credit that are above $100,000. Now you might be thinking, well, if they give me $100,000, I don't care about the $500. Yes, but if you remember, you are already a single member LLC, low income. You have a low income already, so every dollar counts, every penny counts. So if you're interested in learning more, you can either contact the business lending department. You can actually call them up, or you can send an email. So you can call them at 631-698-7000. The extension here is 1687, or you can email business@teachersfcu.org. So they'll take care of you. Number 7, we have Bethpage. Our score 8.8 over 10. I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation. The topic, we're talking about credit union, single member LLC, business line of credit with low income. Okay, and so Bethpage is kind of cool, 8.8 over 10. They offer term loans, but we're interested in their business lines of credit for a single member LLC with low income. So they do have secured and unsecured options, which is really great. Okay, and so they will give you a revolving line to borrow and repay as needed. You can finance gaps in the collection of your receivables. You can acquire more inventory for sales and whatnot. So what we love about Bethpage is that they give you options. They give you flexibility. So this is really good. So if you're interested in learning more, you can give them a call right now, 1-800-628-7070, 1-800-628-7070. Something else that we love about Bethpage is that they're constantly raising your limits. So if you have a line of credit with them and you're using the line of, let's say, using things like responsibly, they will actually raise your limit from time to time. They do review accounts from let's say every 3 to 6 months. So this is really good. So what you want to do is when you have a line of credit with Bethpage, please use the line responsibly. They have really monitored. But I mean, this advice applies to all business lines of credit anyway. Either you get them from credit union or not. Number 6, we have Andrews. Our score 9/10. So when you think about Andrews, you are able to do a lot of things. I mean, do a lot of things. So for example, you have fast access to cash that can keep your commercial finances on track. So you can borrow anytime, any number of times for any purpose. They don't have any restrictions on what you can use the cash for. This is really good. You can cover expenses that could otherwise becomes like those expenses will become cash flow problems. Okay, you can save on interest charges with very competitive rates. What we love about Andrews is that they do have business lines of credit which are more generous in terms of the limit they give you, and then they have unsecured lines of credit where you are basically, let's say if you are just if you're a startup or you have low income or bad credit, you can qualify for credit limits up to $75,000. Okay, the only thing is, again, with Andrews, we do have a problem of geo restrictions here. So your business must be your business address, not the business let's say itself, but the business address must be within a 50-mile radius from any of Andrews locations. So this is important to know. And they also have secure lines of credit, by the way. Number 5, we have BECU. Our score 9.1/10. So I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation, the topic of today's conversation. Once again, we are speaking about credit union, single member LLC, business lines of credit with low income. So we have here BECU 9.1/10, and the business line of credit here, BECU is really generous. Why? Because you have an unsecured line of credit that goes from $2,500 to $10,000, and then you have one that goes from $10,000 to $100,000. Okay, so there's only the difference here is the rate they're charging you. So from $2,500 to let's say not $10,000 itself, but $9,999, so $999. They're charging you 10%, and for the $10,000 to $100,000, they're charging you 9.60%. So you do have flexibility here. Okay, what we love about this line of credit is that they're very flexible and they will approve you real fast. Okay. I want to talk to you about number 4. Number 4, we have a Fairwinds. Our score 9.4/10. So with Fairwinds, you have you can actually use their lines of credit to streamline your business's cash flow. You can handle short-term credit needs, like let's talk about inventory management, like inventory purchases. And the cool thing is their revolving line of credit from Fairwinds, they're really flexible, and they're very generous as well. So you can manage your businesses day to day and ensure that you are always in control of your finances. Okay, and so what the thing is, they have 2 types of business lines of credit. They have the regular small business lines. So this is for like short-term working capital, seasonal purchases, inventory, or payroll. So a small business line of credit from Fairwinds can help you a lot. This line can help you handle expenses and financial obligations seamlessly and efficiently. So the Fairwinds small business line has low annual fees and financing of up to $250,000. And then you have what they call the commercial lines, but those are for big companies or big and established companies. So you're not going to qualify for those. So I'm not even going to talk about that, but it's good to know about those. And you also have another one I want to talk to you about. You have America's Credit Union. So this here you'll have 9.6/10. This is our score, 9.6/10. What we love about America's Credit Union ACU is the diversity of business funding, the business funding programs they have for credit they have for single member LLC business lines of credit. So they do have many programs depending on how I would say how young your business is. Your single member LLC, are you a brand new business or you're an established single member LLC? And so they will adapt the line amount, the line limit to your business's operational history, which is really good. And but besides business lines of credit, they also offer commercial real estate loans if you are a single member LLC. They have construction loans, they have term loans, business term loans, and on top of that, if you don't want to go for a traditional funding program through ACU, they do have a Visa credit card for single member LLCs. So this is really cool. Number 2, we have service. Our score 9.7 over 10. What we love about service is that for your single member LLC business line of credit, they actually have a whole program in place for you to kind of help you out. So you can use the cash to pay your bills, buy inventory, and make payroll every single month. And even if your business is seasonal, so this is really cool. In addition, and you are able to grow your business when you don't want to give up control by adding new partners, like going from single member LLC to multi-member LLC. So services business line of credit is always there when you need it, whether you to pay bills, cover an unexpected expense, or reach for the stars for that matter. So to get started, you want to call service at 1-800-296-4644, 1-800-296-4644, or you can email businessservice@servicecu.org, or you can complete, there's a form on the website that you can complete. Not a problem, but things are very, very easy. So in addition to business lines of credit, service also has equipment financing. They also have traditional business loans. So this is really cool. Number 1, the best of the best in our view when it comes to credit union, single member LLC, business lines of credit for low income and bad credit, for that matter, by the way. And so that's NavyFed. So NavyFed, our score 9.9 over 10. NavyFed is nationally known. They're a well-run, great company. Only problem is you might not qualify for membership, but you should try it because based on our research, like 95 to 97% of Americans qualify in any way, shape, or form. Even if your family is not in the military, you can still qualify. Okay, so for NavyFed, you do have a revolving line of credit for operational purposes. You have a line amounts that starts at $35,000. You have the term length will actually be adapted to your borrower needs. The only problem with NavyFed is that the line of credit must be secured. Okay, so they actually they will help. They will do this. They will approve established businesses, startups. If you need the cash, if you need the line of credit to bridge cash flow gaps. If you want to take care of business growth, you have unexpected expenses. So you do have a constellation of things you can do with the NavyFed business line of credit. So this is really great. Before I actually close today's conversation, let's have a general conversation here. Let me give you an overview. So when we talk about a personal or business line of credit for a single member LLC, especially if you have bad credit or low income, you don't have a lot of choices. In other words, there are not a lot of lenders who are like, rushing to kind of help you out. No. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research, especially if you are thinking about a credit union. Make sure that you choose a credit union with whose geographical coverage is in sync with where your business is located at, or where you yourself have an address. Okay, and the good thing about a business line of credit for a single member LLC is that interest rates are very variable. You will only pay interest on the money you use. There is no collateral required. Fees will vary between institutions. Those with low or no credit may not qualify sometimes, but you can also remember that a secured financing program can be an option. Okay. So, but you want to start with a credit union where you already have a relationship. So right now, wherever you already have a relationship, I want you to start from there because they know you, they'll work with you. It's just a lot better that way. Okay. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's not worth it. So the thing is that when we talk about a single member LLC, but business lines of credit, remember, if you don't qualify, you can also apply for a personal line of credit, because even though you have an LLC, you are still, for all intents and purposes, a one-person show. You are a one-person business, and for tax purposes, for example, you are seen as a disregarded entity. In other words, you're not a business in the eyes of the IRS. So that's why they want you to actually transfer all your expenses and profits information onto your Schedule C on your Form 1040. So you don't have to file a Form 1065 as a multi-member LLC would do. They just want you to file your taxes directly. So it's important to really kind of sort of think about that. And there are some fees. There are a lot of fees that you have to be aware of before actually applying for a credit union, single member LLC, business line of credit. Okay, whether you have low income or bad credit, you have to think. So you have to think about origination fees, application fees, maintenance fees, late payments fees. In some cases, you have cash advance fees. You have a constellation of fees. Be really careful about that, because you already have low income. You need to save every penny, as I said before. Very important. Let me give you a few pro tips if you are still around. And the thing is, you got to find ways to use your business line of credit for your single member LLC properly. You can use the cash for a lot of things. You can do office renovation or repair, or you can do home renovation or repair if you're working from home. You can use the cash as, let's say, as emergency funding. You can take care of ongoing operational costs. You can do moving and relocation expenses. Okay, so you do have a lot of things you can do. Now, one thing for sure, do not use this for personal purposes if there is no clear benefit to your business. Because the only reason when you have a single member LLC, the only time you have to apply for a personal line of credit and use the funds to sort of take care of your business is when those funds are helping the business directly. Okay, and because there are some legal implications if you start blurring the lines between personal expenses and business expenses. You don't want to do that, because what will happen here is that there's something called I'm blanking right now. It will come back to me, but there's something called the corporate veil. So if you blur the lines between personal expenses and business expenses, you are piercing the corporate veil, and that's really bad, because something were to happen, lenders and creditors in general, they will actually go after your personal assets, which you don't want in the first place. Okay, so don't do this. And so when we talk about single member LLC, business lines of credit from credit union with low income or bad credit, you have unsecured lines of credit, you have secured lines of credit, you have business lines of credit, like regular business lines of credit. For those programs, the loan amounts are generally higher. Okay, they're generally higher, but overall, this is what you need to do. And if you want to get a business line of credit, check your credit score, determine the amount you need, research banks and lenders that actually work for you, and apply for the line of credit and receive the funds you need. Okay. Here is a bonus for you. If you have made it so far, I want to give you a bonus. Now, can you get a personal or business line of credit with bad credit and low income if you have a single member LLC and you are looking for you want to get this from a credit union or a bank? Well, it is possible, but it is difficult. Let's just put it that way. The reason why it is possible is because you want to apply at a bank or credit union where you already have a relationship. If you do it that way, yes, it is possible, but it is difficult if you were to apply elsewhere, because their requirements will be a lot higher, and on top of that, they don't have the benefits of the relationship you have established with them. You would have established with them. So that's why I want to go back. If there's anything you want to take away from this show, please remember that you want to apply at the bank or credit union where they already know you. But just remember that there are also alternatives to a business line of credit. You can actually go with a personal line of credit. You can go with a personal loan. You can use a credit card. You can use a HELOC, by the way. You can use a home equity line of credit. You can use this temporarily to take care of business. Again, if, for example, you are working from home and there is a problem in the basement, or there's a problem where you actually work, then it really makes sense that you want to use a home equity line of credit to improve where you're working, and so that you can actually be back on track. But let me give you an example. Let's say you are a physician and you are working from home, and folks are coming to your house for consultations. Patients are coming to your house for consultations, and it happened that this particular location in your house is actually has some problems and needs to be renovated. So if that's the case, yes, you can actually use a home equity line of credit to renovate the part, and then this will be in sync with your single member LLC sort of interest. Okay, so overall, I just want to say that you have flexibility, you have options. If you're looking for a credit union, single member LLC, business line of credit, even if you have low income or bad credit, you can still qualify. Before I give you a recap, I just want to acquaint you with our single member LLC business line of credit evaluation approach. We have a strict approach when it comes to evaluating loans and lines of credit in general, and so please check this out. I want to do a quick recap here. So number one, we have Navy Fed, our score 9.9 over 10. Number two, we have here Service, our score 9.7 over 10. Number three, we have America's Credit Union, ACU, 9.6 over 10. Number four, we have Fairwinds, 9.4 over 10. Number five, we have BECU, 9.1 over 10. Number six, we have Andrews, 9 over 10. Number seven, we have Bethpage, 8.8 over 10. Number eight, we have Teachers, 8.4 over 10. Number nine, we have NIH, 8.2 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have Lake Michigan, 7.8 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.